up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way.
Okay, no, it would be like this.
I think it's
Well, she can't be president because she's a lady person.
can't be
So
president.
I'm gonna
People-
have to vote for
people,
Trump.
people with
Even though I
lady
think he's
people with lady
ladies
parts.
can't
Lady
ladies
parts
can't
can't
president.
be can't president.
I can't. I mean,
Which-
this is the person who froze on stage for.
Oh, I know. He's got.
Whatever, how
He,
long.
I'm 80% sure it's Parkinson's. You know, it's fine. He's gonna
Yeah.
retire. So I mean, he's gonna go away. But it's like his legacy's been well cemented. It's fucking up America.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's a bastard.
Uh,
There's a special seat in hell for him. And
yeah. The whole, yes. Starting with the Supreme Court seat. And
yes,
just-
exactly.
Actually, no, it didn't.
Maverick
no, it actually
Garland.
It started in 3rd grade, I think,
Kinda
when he killed his first cat.
Okay, so we're
I think
live.
That is when, right? Okay.
Okay,
So,
so here we are. We don't
Mitch
believe
McConnell killed a cat.
that did not happen.
It absolutely 100%.
100%
He took a cat
Might have happened.
and just killed it.
Was it
This
his
is in
cat?
3rd grade.
Was it his cat?
It was
The
its
neighbor's
name
cat.
was Whiskers
Whiskers.
McGraw, and
Kentucky.
Whiskers was an awesome cat.
Kentucky,
But
of course.
Mitch went out there one day and he just grabbed the cat by the tail and chucked it in the creek. And he did that 3 or 4 times until that cat couldn't even move anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Like, yeah.
There's no substantiated data that's true. But I
What
see
what
it.
is substantiated
It's
data?
possible.
It feels like something that would be true.
It could be.
I could definitely see
be.
Mitch McConnell as
I-
a 9-year-old boy swinging a cat, going, see how far I can get this cat to go. Because like as his evil is slowly percolating,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
got to like manifest in certain ways where like you
Oh
can
my
only,
goodness.
when you're 9, how much evil can you do? Well, I could kill
You-
this cat.
You know,
Like, oh, you could kill a
You
cat.
know-
Oh, there you go.
you know what was popping in my head the other day? Someone was talking about evil. Is the you remember the movie Time Bandits? Classic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
course.
at the end, it's in the toaster oven. There's the little, Mom, Dad, don't touch it. It's evil.
Right.
For some reason, that just scene popped in my head. I'm like, that was a great scene.
One of Terry
Like, was it
Gilliam's
though?
finer films.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, we are here. Hello, everyone. We are back. We are
Oh,
here for
hello.
that segment.
Hi,
we love to
everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're here for that segment we love to call Okay, Seriously, where you send the
I
questions.
never know
and
exactly when we're on because
we give the answers. No, I know.
Vanguard controls the world.
I
and
try to-
just
I try
am
to-
here as a sidekick.
I try
I
to
have
catch
no-
him. I try to catch him in some
Yeah.
key moments. Is what
I
happens.
have no.
Just go live. We'll do it live.
No, I just wanted everyone to understand that this is not a that I am merely an associate
Right.
of Vanguard's.
Yes.
And I can be edited, muted, and kicked off at
Right.
his leisure.
Yes.
So really,
That's
this
technically
is-
true.
He is the so.
Yes.
I am here out of his graciousness.
Yes. My mercy is great. So all's well. Pleasure
as-
having
as
you
well as-
back on the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. This time, calling me at 3 a.m. to ask me to do this.
Yeah, I know. That
Not-
was a
not
lot
the
last
greatest
minute.
thing.
My bad. My bad. And
I
I'm
didn't-
sure
I-
Mrs. Greenpants are not thrilled to hear the phone ring at that hour.
Well, the thing is, no, wasn't sleeping anyway because I was so pissed that I had not been called at all.
I see.
So I was up anyway, and then you called, and I was like, oh, thank God. But same time, a little bit hurt.
Yeah, I know. I won't wait that
Mrs.
long next
Greenpants
time.
doesn't like getting weighed up.
I know. Mrs. Greenpants gets cranky when she's woken up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, can you
it's
blame
fair.
her?
No, I can't. I get cranky, so that's the thing. So,
Hello, everyone.
yeah.
I'm here to help people.
It-
Didn't get
I-
a full night's. I don't want to go into it, but I didn't have a full night's sleep last night.
For
Just
reasons.
not entirely.
Reasons.
Just
Yeah,
some
for
stuff,
reasons.
personal
Yeah,
stuff.
Stuff happened.
But today we're here to help you.
We are. So let's jump
And,
into our first question. So we've got 5 questions from our viewers today. And we're going to jump in. First one's from Kurt from Overland Park, Kansas. Hello, Kurt. Kurt says, my
Hello.
girlfriend, 22-year-old female, pulled a taser on me, 22-year-old male. I think I have the answer to this one already, but we're gonna play it out.
Okay, yeah.
So,
well, can
we
please go on.
We just had our 3-year anniversary a few days ago. Everything had been perfect, I thought. Our relationship had always been amazing. But over the past 72 hours, she started to act very weird to the point where even her mom asked if she was on drugs. Then today I went to my girlfriend's house and she came out launching out with a live taser, screaming wildly and accusing me of cheating. I don't understand what's going on. Everything was fine until 3 days ago. Kurt from Overland Park, Kansas.
Wow.
Coming out with a zinger.
Well, that sounds like a psychotic episode.
Yeah.
Um,
Sounds like psychotic break, Kurt.
if launching at you with a taser isn't part of your normal like boyfriend girlfriend routine,
Ah,
I would say that it does raise some questions.
yes.
Um,
Concerning us.
I once had a knife pulled on me, due to menopause. But that was, just a mentally unstable person whose computer platform had developed a lot of malware. I'm talking about my mom.
No, I saw where you're
this
going
is
with
my
that.
mom.
Yeah.
But no,
Jesus.
so my mom pulled a knife on me and my father during menopause, saying, "I have a knife, and I'm all out of estrogen."
Yeah.
So all I'm
Ah.
saying is these things can happen.
Lordy.
That is all I'm saying. But this was definitely a psychotic episode. It sounds like.
It was.
Have you been cheating on her?
Right.
Like, is there any truth to
and
this?
over 3 years, there have been no other suspicious jealousy events with you and another woman that
Right.
you haven't discussed. If this literally came out of nowhere, like,
Yeah, because
yeah,
if this came
psychotic
out of
episode.
absolutely nowhere against everything that they do, it's related to drugs in some way.
yes,
Like, almost has to be. Like the only time that people change their entire personality that quickly
Yeah.
is through the magic of chemicals.
Right.
And drugs can do wonderful things. I'm a huge fan. It's just got to do it right. And she definitely did something a little wrong.
something
Because
wrong. She did it wrong.
maybe yeah, she took some angel dust or something. I don't know
Something.
what that was, but
Something. So her mom's on your side, which is good. So I would definitely talk to
Yeah,
your mom and say,
it's-
you notice another weird behaviors, figure it out, confront her, say, hey,
Right.
you're being kind of wacky. I think we should go together. You can go with her. Let's go together. Let's
you're
get
being
checked
kind of
out.
wacky. That feels technical.
That's not a
I mean,
good.
hey,
I know.
You know
that's,
what, honey?
that's not a good
You're
out
being
of
a
the
little
chute
wacky
one
lately.
either. Yeah,
Can we go to the?
it's a good way to get
can we go to
strangled.
Yeah. I mean, and we have to assume, privilege in terms of like having mental health care professionals available.
True.
And
And
that
it
sort
is
of thing.
Kansas,
So,
which is not the best place for
Overland, anything.
mental health care.
It's not the best place for houses. They get picked up by tornadoes and taken away to strange lands where you have to do a bunch of fucking crazy shit to like come back. But but yeah, no, I would say, especially because if it was just you and the taser and there were like no witnesses, that would be a difficult thing to.
Yeah.
But because her mom thinks you're on her, I think what you need to do
Right.
is get your girlfriend help. Like that is most likely or almost absolutely something that was drug induced,
Yes.
maybe voluntarily, maybe involuntarily, but it needs to be
Addressed. Yes.
yeah, it needs to be addressed, and first to have blood test and see what levels are and all that kind of stuff, and then But if she's, violent and all that, then yeah, you have to deal with that.
Yes, for sure. You need to be concerned about your own safety, dude. But do what you can to help her, and don't call her wacky, of course. Go on and say,
Right.
hey, this
Hey,
thing you did yesterday.
Taser's 50,000 volts.
Yeah.
And it makes your body completely
It'll rock ya.
immobile for like 30 seconds.
Yes.
Well, it depends. It depends on how many times the police keep tasing you.
Why does she have the taser?
So, yeah, well,
Mostly in Overland Park,
guess-
Kansas.
This is America.
I know.
That's how things work here. I mean, that's just like saying, why did he have a landmine? Well, of course he had a landmine, because it's like,
Yeehaw.
trying to explain. I mean, when we had that horrible thing happen in Las Vegas with the guy in the tower at the Mandalay Bay or whatever, trying to explain to people in other countries, like,
But that
how
happens.
did he get 26 AR-15s to have lined up?
What do you
or
mean?
Whatever?
He just bought them.
bought them,
Which you can
legally.
do, which is a thing that you can
Yeah.
do here.
and then he carried them upstairs in
America.
big duffel bags.
Not suspicious at all.
What?
Yeah. Like, how does that happen?
How did he?
People ask how
Wasn't
does
that
that
stuff
happen?
heavy? Yes, it was.
And
It
we
was,
just
it
shrug
was-
and
it
we
was like
say,
eight-
it happens.
It was like 900 pounds of ammunition.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got it up there.
Yeah,
It
got it all
was
in.
like, oh my god.
Yeah. Housekeeping, like, oh, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Wow, this guy's got a lot of hardware.
Yeah, something. What
No
was I gonna say?
questions, it's Vegas.
Right. I was gonna say, Kurt, when you confront her, just kind of don't use the word wacky, but I would say, you know what, you did this thing yesterday, and you've been acting really weird, and it's very uncharacteristic, and I'm concerned. So is anything going on with you? Something I need to know about? Your mom's worried. Blah 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 blah. Doing the conversation from there. If she's unreceptive, maybe you have the conversation with her mom. It's kind of like a we'll call it intervention-y thing, right? Saying both concerned about you.
At this point, it might be like, because I'm curious how this ended. Like, did she
Right.
go back to a calm state and remember the episode? Still, have you seen? Is this the last? Because she needs help now, and
Mhm.
it's not about as much
Well, I
figuring
think,
out later what happened.
But I think too. I think this question came maybe Wednesday or Thursday last week, right? So
Yeah.
it's been 5 days. So Kurt, A, we hope you're alive still.
Right.
And B, if the situation's
Kurt,
escalating, it's
Kurt may very well have gotten tasered
right.
and is
And tased.
lying in a parking lot in
Drooling.
Overland Park, Kansas, being like, "Why didn't anyone help me? I
Right.
wrote those guys.
Right. Yeah.
White men never get justice."
Right.
That is
Yeah.
what he said as he.
Yeah. Kurt, show's on Tuesdays, just so you know. So get the question a little earlier if you have a concern.
Right. If it's
We're on a
important,
schedule. We have day
Mark-
jobs. It's like,
please mark it as important. Put important.
Right.
On the front,
If you put
whatever.
important-
something I can't.
Right.
I don't know what I don't know. And when
Exactly.
you're going through this amount of content, it's hard to get everyone's question answered. We only can do 5 a week. So
That's right. That's right.
Um,
But you finally
so
made the
yes.
cut, Kurt. You finally made the
yeah,
cut.
but hope that incident that would have played itself out already
Yes.
happened okay,
Yes.
and that everybody is alive,
Yes.
and wounds are superficial,
Yes.
and everybody's tasers are put away. Yeah, so I think that's all I got on that one. I mean, that's
No, it's the thing. And Kurt, you gotta confront her, right? I mean, like we said, so
Yeah.
be constructive.
But I
Point
think
out
even her
her
mom would
behavior.
confront her at this point,
Yeah.
because there's got to be other things too, because that probably wasn't the only thing.
Yeah.
That
Right.
might have
Right.
been
Right.
like your experience, but if her
Right.
mom is saying, "Oh, I think she's on drugs,"
Right.
she must have done something that her mom was like, "What the hell is
Yeah.
this?"
Yeah. Exactly.
So
And it's been 5
those
days. There may
combined-
have been 5 more days of wackiness. You know what I mean? That we can
Right.
use
So
to.
if you're worried that this happened and now you just haven't done anything since, that's probably what happened, was that there was a psychotic episode,
Wow.
not necessarily having anything to do with you necessarily.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
you should have submitted the question in a more timely fashion. Is really
Kurt,
this is on you, Kurt.
It's not Kurt.
If Kurt's dead,
I'm not
that's on
blaming
him.
Kurt. Poor Kurt.
Okay, well,
I'm not picking this on
You know,
Kurt.
Kurt, if you're dead, sorry.
Sorry.
Um,
Tuesdays. We meet Tuesdays. This is
you're-
what we do.
If you're if you're lying in a cornfield somewhere, just tased and hanging on to life,
Text
waiting for
us.
someone
Text
to
message us.
yeah,
We'll-
just send us your coordinates.
we'll send
and,
someone to find
and-
you.
and no, we'll delete and report as spam. But
Hi, it's Kurt. I'm in a cornfield. She tased
delete,
me.
report as spam.
All right. Well, good luck, Kurt. Let's hopefully give us a follow-up on it. Let us know how it goes. All right. Our next one from Miley from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Miley says, I broke up with my ex about a year ago. Now he's dating my best friend. Me and my ex were in a relationship for 8 years. Breaking up was not an easy decision to make, and my friend was there for me when I went through the pain of it. Whew. But now they have clearly decided to date each other, and she doesn't see it as a problem because clearly he wasn't the right one for me. I feel I can't trust her or him. I have a friendship with both and feel disrespected. Should I be the bigger person, suck it up, and just deal with it? It feels crazy and awkward. Wow.
Yeah, it feels crazy and awkward because of course it does. Because
Yeah.
this situation is crazy and awkward.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Miley, this.
I'm gonna
sucks.
go. I'm gonna
Like-
go. Like, it does. I'm gonna go. You know what? This is occasionally I say these sexist things. I'm gonna say one now. It's like my observations, and of course, it's not generalized across the population, but there's enough of a percentage to make this statement. Women can be brutal to each other. Like there's no code. You know what I mean? Like men have a code, or at least most men have a code, right? Women are just like, yeah, I'll sleep with her boyfriend. I'm like, really? Because that's like your best friend.
No, I don't.
It's like,
No, but I don't know. I don't think it's done with that sort of like. It's like you had a long, difficult breakup that your friend
was there for
helped you through, and is now in bed, literally,
right?
with the person who was the source.
But did
of
she
that.
have
So it's
ulterior
like,
motives during the support period where she was helping her
But
friends?
if this went, like,
you know,
yeah, because any help that she supported you, all that karma went into a black hole. The minute she started fucking your boyfriend.
Right.
And
I
think
I would think
she
back.
might be confused about what the word friend means. I think.
I would think
You know,
back to the.
I don't think that role is necessarily
It's
established
clear,
here.
right? I would think back to the advice she was giving, and was it kind of like, oh, he's no good for you. You're better off without him. Don't worry about it. Forget him. You know, he's an asshole. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like kind of like steering the little manipulation, right? It's like, boom, putting her in a position where okay, now I got my chance. You know what I mean? Her having ulterior motives that she wanted him in the first place.
I mean, I think both of them are at fault in this situation. Like the boyfriend sucks because switching to the best friend or whatever. But
She dumped
the
him
friend-
though.
Did it say that she dumped? Doesn't it say?
I
that
broke
he-
up with my ex about a year ago.
Oh,
Doesn't that mean she dumped
okay.
him? Maybe it didn't. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe
I
it
broke.
didn't.
Okay, if she broke up with so
He's
if
free to
she
do what he
dumped
wants.
Him,
I don't really
then he
blame
can do
him.
whatever he wants.
Do what the
Right.
fuck he wants.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's on her. It's on the
but
friends.
that's why. But that's why they say that that expression of like men when they get mad at each other, like they fight each other and get angry and then are like calm down and then it's done.
And they go have a
Women-
beer and they're done, right?
Women will give each other eating disorders
Yes.
that will affect them for
Yes.
the rest of their lives.
Yes. Yes.
They
And
will
they're-
reach into their soul
Oh, totally.
and just blacken it
And they're-
with something so powerful and hateful and that they know and insightful that they know will just
Yes.
worm into that woman's mind
Yes.
and just nag at her forever.
Right. And will scorn
That's
her
power.
eternally. Like I hate eternal. Like, oh, we don't speak anymore. It's like it's been 10 years. Yeah, no, we didn't speak because that thing she did. You know, and I'm like, really?
Right.
It's like,
I mean, I get it. But
No.
it is because that's kind of in the I don't know if there's a as Martin Luther King said, bros before hoes.
Right.
So
but there is
you know,
bros for hoes, right?
yes, is what saying. So I'm wondering if there is
That's why I think
there
there's
must not be any sort of a counter. Is there
there's
there
no
a
counter
corollary?
code. No, I don't think that's what I'm
There's-
saying.
see
That's
that?
what I'm getting at. That's my concern. Like
Like,
women will stab each other in the back for what they want. That's the thing. It's a shame
Some.
too. Some. I'm not again.
But-
I'm doing.
We are
Not all.
generalizing because
We're
that's what one does
generalizing.
on the
That's
internet.
natural. I'm saying not all, but there's a tendency that I've seen with my eyes many times repeated that a woman will not give a flying crap about wronging another woman in a way like this. Oh, Super J says there's a girl code. Super J just said there's a girl code. Super J, please provide a URL link to the girl code. Appreciate that. Thank you very
Okay.
much. There is
Okay,
a bro
so yeah,
code.
because I would think that okay, then great. So because I would think within that same sort of thing would be established. So that, but like the weirdest thing is that her friend is like, no,
What's
no,
the
no,
big
but
deal?
he
Right.
wasn't right for you.
Right.
That's what it's like. Are you fucking out of your mind?
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Your friend doesn't understand what a friend is. That's what
Right.
if she's honestly confused why you're
Yeah,
pissed. She's
Right.
lacking in some awareness of social cues and emotional intelligence. Sounds.
yeah. Your friend was not a good friend. I'm sorry to say, Miley.
Yeah.
She was not.
Like maybe she helped you through it because she had no idea what was going on and was just like da 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 da, and she helped take your mind off of it, But
And it's been a year, but I mean, even so, right? I'd be like it was me, and it was me. I've literally been in this situation where it's like me and a girl who used to be a steady with a friend, broken up for a couple years, and she showed interest in me, and I said, you know what? Nope, I got to talk to my buddy. So we had a conversation about it, and I said, if this is going to affect you in any way, shape, or form, this will not happen. You know what I mean? And then it's like, no problem. My friendship with you is not important. And he was like, no, dude, please go nuts. But we had the
Right.
conversation, right? So it was like, so it was fine.
And that person is now Mrs. Vanguard.
Right. No, not Mrs. Vanguard.
No, that's not true.
Mrs. Vanguard.
It's absolutely not true.
I won Mrs. Vanguard fair and square.
One
In the
Won?
arena.
Yes,
In the arena, no.
in the octagon is the only true
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
One
Thunderdome.
can-
Thunderdome.
Yeah.
2 men enter, 1
Well-
man leaves.
Thunder. Yeah, a Thunderdome is hard to recreate. Like when you just need to create an
True.
octagon, you can do that in a backyard. You can
That's
set
true.
up a quick octagon.
Thunderdome's a thing.
Setting up the cage, a little more
Right.
difficult.
And you need like
lots of
friends
trips
who
to
could
Home
play
Depot.
like Master Blaster. You need the one guy sitting on the other guy's back and the whole thing. It's like it's a lot
you have, like-
involved. A lot of production.
And you need like at least one of your. If you hopefully have a good friend that's a little person.
Yeah.
To
To be
your shoulder.
master, because you could be blaster. You put the
Master and blaster.
yeah,
right.
right. I mean,
Like,
clearly.
There's a lot.
And they Roberto
um,
Town. I don't know if you knew.
Unfortunately, Tina Turner is not available.
They're still available.
But
Yep.
so
Anyway, where we're going with that? Your friend's a bad friend.
I don't know.
Her friend's a bad friend, is what we decided. I'd confront your friend and say, you know what? Did you like him before we broke up? You know what I mean? Just kind of like get it out,
Right.
get at it with her. You know what I mean? Like sort of bond over it and just say, look, it's like it's really hurtful. He was my guy
Yeah.
for such a long time, and da da da.
And what do you have to lose? Because
Right. Like, and why
it
couldn't
is-
you talk to me before it happened? You know what I mean? That shows me that you were hiding something. You know what I mean? It's like have those kinds of conversations.
Well, and I think she's probably afraid to, because it's awkward. So it's like that's a really difficult conversation to have.
Sure.
Because that's why people ghost people, because they're just like, fuck that.
guess.
I don't want any. They
I just don't want to have that
to-
talk, right? Yeah, but people gotta get over
Yeah,
that shit.
exactly.
It's like,
This never happened,
No.
but
my God.
in this case, if you want closure, you can talk to her and be like, this is how human beings are.
right.
I'm just wondering where you went wrong.
Right.
And if that can be fixed, or if you just have,
And 8 years, that's a
Limited.
long relationship. So it's like
Yeah.
think like what were you thinking that like we would all hang out or something? Like how do you think I would feel about that? It's
Right,
like-
right. Yeah, a lot of questions.
Right.
A lot of questions. So
You
I
guys-
would.
wait,
I
we're going
would,
into movie night. You guys are cuddling on the couch. Like I don't want to be around that, right? It's like
Yeah.
yeah. So confront your friend. We think
Confront your
so.
friend.
Our vote is he's fine. Your friend is done you wrong.
I
have a
don't know if
conversation.
he's necessarily fine. There could have been an intricate plot.
There could
weaved
be
in there, so
things
it
that
was
we
a
don't
plot,
know about.
But as a
Yes, you don't know the unknown.
probably, if you dumped him and he's like, okay, whatever, I'm going to go on. So yeah,
All right,
friend wasn't a friend.
I'm gonna ask
Did you get that link to the girl code?
no, I didn't.
So
I'm
I'm gonna-
waiting on Super J to give me the link to the girl code.
I'm gonna need because if anything, I want to read it so I can understand it. Because
I'm
I
asking
love the
chat.
ladies, and I want to know. I want to know what they are not sharing with me.
I'm asking ChatGPT. Is there a girl code that has rules for dating each other's
Oh,
ex-boyfriends?
and this is how ChatGPT is going to take over the world.
Yeah.
It starts right here.
All right, here we go. This is, you know what? Maybe this might
Okay.
put us out of business because it's giving pretty reasonable advice.
Okay, what does the machine learning from the algorithm say?
I will tell you. Glad you
The
asked.
algorithm says
It is saying, yes, many social circles recognize an informal girl code which outlines unspoken rules about friendships, respect, and relationships. It's not a formal universal set of rules. Certain guidelines are widely understood, particularly when it comes to dating friends' exes. Here are some column elements of the girl code related to ex-boyfriends. 1. Ask for permission. 2. Wait a reasonable amount of time. Cooling off period allows emotions to settle. Evaluate the depth of the previous relationship. No secrets or sneaking around. Respect her feelings if
Oh
she's
my God.
uncomfortable. And know the social dynamics. If you and your friends share the same social circle, dating X could create an awkward situation for mutual friends. Consider whether it's worth any potential fallout. So, kind of what we said, somewhat, right?
Yeah.
But really, if she came to talk to you about it, it would have got to issue 5 here, which is respect her feelings if she's
Right.
uncomfortable. You would have said you're uncomfortable,
Right.
and that should have been it, right? So, she didn't have the
I'm just gonna
conversation.
say it. That makes me uncomfortable. That thing just
The chat
basically
GPT knows.
whipped out. Like, we don't need psychologists anymore. It's like there's so many, you know,
There are resources. There are resources.
well, especially if it says, if the assignment that you're given is like, you know, describe how this affects this, and you just ask ChatGPT and it just formulates an answer for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So I think
Do we have a
we're
third
good there.
question?
So we do.
Yeah, that's solid.
It's finishing up this. Telling ChatGPT to leave me alone. So okay.
Well, yeah, you got its attention.
I know. Now it's like trying to ask me things. Okay. Next one comes from Hector from Waterbury, Connecticut. Hector asks,
Okay.
please help my brother and I settle an argument about Star Wars. What is the proper order to watch the movies? You've come to the right place. I say it should just be as the writers intended. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's trying to convince me it's the year they came out. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. You two seem to be Star Wars authorities. Can you settle the debate? Yes, you're both wrong.
I'm glad that you consider Star Wars authorities. I have strong feelings on this, but for my kids, I chose option 2, which was option 1. The first one they ever saw was the one with fucking Jar Jar.
Okay.
But to establish, and then he didn't really like it so much. So then I showed, then I just got all disconcerted, and so I started showing scenes from A New Hope. But the basic problem is the filmmaking is so different from time period to time period. So when introducing it to a kid, it's like so obvious. There's like these giant gaps in like the filmmaking, and like, was this 70 years old?
And yes, it was.
From a storytelling standpoint, if you want to understand the story that George Lucas was trying to tell, I would say watch them in chronological order.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that's
like
incorrect.
Okay.
I believe you're wrong. The proper order to watch them is 4, 5, 2, 3, 6.
Wait. 4, 5,
2,
so,
3,
okay.
6.
Star Wars Empire.
Yes.
And then
2, 3, and then 6. And you should not watch 1, and you should not watch 7, 8, or 9. They're horrible. If you must watch 7, 8, 9, just put 7, 8, 9 at the end. It's fine. But episode 1 literally has no intrinsic plot value to the entire saga.
Right, because yes, that's true. If you started at Attack of the Clones, and that's just where you started,
you miss nothing.
I think you'd be fine.
You miss nothing. You literally miss nothing. You know what I mean?
Well,
because it's the story of Anakin Skywalker, right? And one has nothing in the development of Anakin Skywalker other than them finding him as a child. You know what I mean? That's literally all that happens.
I guess
that you could do in the crawl, the story crawl episode 2. You know?
Right, but you got to see pod racing.
Right.
You got to learn what pod racing was. We got to learn that Tatooine has slavery, and that's just cool. We wasn't there like the first Force Birth was in there, or they talk about
the
it?
Divine Birth, Darth,
Divine Birth,
Divine Birth. So the reason the order I specified, the 4, 5, 2, 3, 6. It's called the Machete Order. It's a known thing, and the idea is that you are introduced in the middle of action, or in media res is really a kind of a way to describe it. the action of 4. You're trying to piece together the backstory. Then you have 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And then you end with Luke, I am your father. Right? And then the understanding that his...
No, that can't be true. Okay.
That's impossible.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
then
impossible. Yeah.
flashback to the story of Anakin Skywalker and his fall. And then 6 is the redemption of Anakin Skywalker at the very end.
Okay. So that's from an aesthetic. So so are we saying if you're a human being that
Yes.
is basically has no idea about Star Wars,
Right.
and you're just going to that is if you want them to understand Star Wars, that's what you should present
Yes.
to them,
Yes.
and edit out the rest like
It's-
a director would just
Exactly.
drop it.
Because it's a logical
Okay.
narrative that way. You know what I mean? So if you're unfamiliar with it, you're
It
like,
would-
oh, this story made sense. You know what I mean? When you get to the end.
That is true. It would
Yeah.
be, and it also wouldn't be, 18 hours long or whatever. Having to go through.
Yes. Yes.
It's like, to me, each one was like, yeah, they did not tell a coherent story at all. So like, I mean, I was never not stoned enough to even understand what was happening.
It's horrible.
Two,
It has no. It's horrible.
All of the scenes with the Galactic Senate and stuff just went right over. I no idea. So when I think of those, I just think of like, yeah. It was a bunch of like robots and lightsabers and this like crazy shit and like clones.
Yeah.
And then actual Star Wars happened.
Right. Right.
Like,
Kind of one.
it was like just all of these kind of like, oh, like that was odd, but like, yeah, ultimately unimportant.
Yes.
Whereas I did like Rogue One,
Yes.
which was a nice compartmentalized. It was like the story of
Yes.
how did they get the plans,
How did they
to
find out the Death
the
Star
Death Star.
existed? How did they get the plans?
Yeah.
Background to that.
and so
Fantastic.
and it contained and fit directly right into 4.
Yeah.
Perfect. So would you throw Rogue One in there?
I would put Rogue One in between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Or maybe do it right
Yeah.
before 4.
Wow, they really, really concentrated on these plans. Yeah, because at the end of
Maybe right before 4, I guess. Maybe Rogue One could be right before 5. Well, no, I would do it as a flashback because again, the saga is supposed to be about Anakin Skywalker, and if you start with Rogue One, you've gone off script essentially. You know what I mean? If you do it as a flashback, saying what was this all about, then
Right.
yes. You know.
Are we going on the fact that the proper thing is it is the story of Luke Skywalker or
Anakin Skywalker,
the story of
his
Anakin
fall
Skywalker?
and his redemption.
Or-
You know what I mean?
and
That's
I-
the
right.
story. If you're going to write as a book, that's how you would note board it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
As a
Right.
character development.
But it was done over such a long period of time, and it was retconned so many times that it doesn't make a nice linear arc, which is
I know.
why you just had to chop 9 movies into 6, and then do some other editing in order to get the Criterion version.
Oh my God, Super J just. Oh my God, Super J. I love you dearly, but what you have said has brought me physical pain. You said 7, 8, 9 are the best. She says. That's.
I know this will bring you physical pain,
That's
but
not-
like there is no more Star Wars experience that I enjoyed more than 7.
7 wasn't bad. I will forgive you
When-
for 7.
When that came out and
Yes.
it was Harrison Ford was back and he
Yes.
came out of the thing and I was yes.
No
like, this
question.
is
No
awesome.
question. And
And
I
then-
remember when they revealed
then-
it at DisneyCon or whatever, and the crowd lost their shit when they previewed that
Right.
scene. Everybody
And
went, "Oh my God!" And they had
and
nerdgasms went all through the hall.
the hell out of it. After I got home, I was like, hey, wasn't that the same story as Star Wars? Like as the first one?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, yeah, it was. They just sort of redid it. But I'm like,
Yep.
you know what? I still loved it. And then the next one came out, and I was
Horrible.
like, this isn't
It
Star Wars.
Was
I don't know what
horrible.
this is.
It was
Or
horrible.
this is something that has the Star Wars characters. It just wasn't Star Wars. It was just something that had the Star Wars characters in it, but no one was acting like you would ever think they would. And
That 8 was horrible.
and then 8 didn't make any, or 9 just didn't make any sense.
Tried to
Like,
it
bring
tried to
back the-
undo 8, failed.
right.
You know,
Right.
and then didn't even create its own narrative. Yeah,
Right.
it was horrible.
Yeah, 9
It's like-
angered me.
It's
because
like,
I was
oh,
like,
she's
wait a
the
minute, we can't
granddaughter.
bring back
What? How's she the granddaughter? You
No.
brought back the same enemy because it invalidated
Yeah.
all the rest of the other movies because it's like
Right.
the whole thing was about defeating the Emperor. They defeat the Emperor. Oh no, never mind, he's back. It's like you made the entire struggle of those first movies were nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Right?
Well, that's what you have. That's what happens when you have a
How to
giant
write a
media
story.
empire with mergers, and then
I know.
Lucasfilm being purchased
I
by Disney, and them also, like, they made that decision to have the films be directed by different directors, which
Horrible
I don't
idea.
understand
Horrible
why.
idea.
That doesn't. I mean, it'd be like having Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War be directed by two different directors, and expect them to just like go to. It's like the style will be that doesn't
Totally
work.
different.
It's
Especially
just-
when you had
yeah.
the second director undoing the first director because you didn't like what he said in the story.
Right.
It's like, what is going on?
He decides to change the rules and literally just has like little boy using the force to grab a broom, and I what Space Horses couldn't do it.
Running on the
It's
side of the
space-
star, running on the top of the Star Destroyer. Hey, I have a solution. There we go. Problem solved.
Yeah, because Star Destroyers also. And well, the first thing is because what works really well in space are bomber attacks,
Right. You
Where you
hover over
open
the
up
space and
payload.
and the bombs fall down.
and they fall and they
They
go
go
clink,
down.
clink, 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 and they go down,
And they
up
explode.
and down
Yeah.
because you go over it. Right.
Right.
Because there is a very consistent gravitational well that makes them understand what up is up and what down is down.
Correct.
Also, you can use a hyperdrive
As a weapon.
as a weapon,
Yeah.
which has never been done before.
Right.
But that's like you can take down whatever.
But you can't do
Right.
it. You can't do it on autopilot or by droid. You have to do it as a person flying it yourself.
You have to have but it only takes one.
Have to. It has to be a
Even
noble
if
sacrifice.
this is a I mean, we're talking like
Oh,
what
Lorna
was the
Dern, what were
Corellian
you thinking?
Corvette, that was the Corellian Corvette, but those things are huge still.
Mhm.
It has like 300 people or whatever
Yeah,
on
yeah,
them,
yeah, for sure.
and
Each one could be a
one
weapon.
person's got to fly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we answer Hector's question?
I think we did.
I
The
think we need
machete
a more-
order is the proper order. We made it more confusion. But you know what's funny?
Okay.
So I know we go on this forever, but the last point I wanted to make was that it's funny that the prequels, everybody was like, "Oh my god, these are bad," right? When they
Right.
first came out from the true Star Wars fans. But now it's like, oh, you know what? We can appreciate them and sort of like respect the lore they established, and
I can't.
Maybe they
Not
weren't so
really.
bad. People say it now. You know why? Because like the tie-ins like Rebels and Clone Wars were good
Right.
and were well received.
And they
And
fleshed
that
out
comes
all of
from
the
that era.
stories. That's true.
Exactly. So people kind of in their
Right.
minds extended the story of what those prequels said with Clone Wars and like, oh yeah, that was great. And Anakin's in Jedi Order and Clone Wars, that was fantastic. You know what I mean?
Right, because
When at the
actually,
time
yeah,
it
you
was
had two
like-
television shows where Anakin is a main character,
Right.
and he has like experiences and all that stuff. Yeah.
Right. That were well done, So it's like, yeah. Anyway.
So I would say I will agree with Vanguard and say that Machete Order sounds great if it is a hypothetical situation of what is a Star Wars?
Right.
I have an afternoon.
Yes.
This is Star Wars.
And you want someone to enjoy a narrative.
Anyway.
You go Machete Order. Exactly.
But there's so much more expansive stuff in the world that
Yes.
and then and there's terrible things like the Acolyte. So
So bad on the Acolyte.
so bad. What just makes me so mad about the Acolyte is that all of the news
Which
about
one?
the Acolyte is that everyone hated the Acolyte because of
The
like
wokeness.
woke issues
But it
and
wasn't
stuff. And
that.
like I didn't.
It was just bad.
It was just so bad.
It was just
like
bad.
and
Yeah.
it was like, oh, you're being racist. And it was like, what?
No, it was
Like
just not a
at
good
first I
story.
didn't even understand. I was like, what is happening? And it was like,
No.
well, see, there's two women and the women I'm like, oh no, I
No.
just don't understand what's happening.
No.
Like it just
And it
like,
killed me because the setup, I was kind of like, oh, okay, this can go into an interesting place. You know what I mean? I was kind of with it. The production value was great.
$180 million.
I know.
I knew going
know.
into the show, it was a show that they spent $180 million on, and it was only like 6 episodes or whatever. I'm like, this is, and oh my God, this is
30
going to be
million
so awesome.
episode.
And every episode, I'm like, what?
Waiting. Yeah.
And as they introduced things that were like, yeah. So
Yep.
I have no comment on the multicultural actors in the film or whatever.
They were
they
fine. It's like,
didn't really
no problem
notice,
there.
quite frankly. Yeah.
Seriously, didn't
Um,
even
yeah.
it's like,
Like, um,
notice the
yeah, yeah.
gaping plot holes is what I noticed.
Well, that's how you know someone is it like with racism. It's like because if you don't even think of it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. If it's like when you're, it's like it's those people that it's like you didn't like this because of this, this, and this, and it's like, what are you talking? It's like
Right.
didn't occur to me. Like that has nothing to like. No, the writing. Every episode ended with, okay, I need to tell you something. Oh, be right back. Like that plot device of
Fade
I
to
have something
black.
very important to tell you, and
Yeah.
then slight distraction. We'll have to wait.
Yeah.
They did that 5 times.
Well, like the old remember the old Batman TV show? They used to do that. Batman was on the death
It was a
machine.
camp show. It was a joke.
I know. Like they took a gag and made it $180 million. Oh, anyway. So there's our opinions on a lot of things Star Wars. Again, we can go on and on, but poor Brandon here needs help, so we should help him out.
Yes.
Oh, we
Okay,
love talking
what
about
is
Star
Brandon?
Wars, so please keep it coming. Star Wars questions.
What,
Brandon is from Astoria, Washington, and
Okay.
Brandon is looking for an internship and has been offered one at a place whose mission I don't fully support or agree with. I'm not an activist or anything, but climate is important to me, and this place is an industry that is not green by default. There seem to be a lot of strong opinions amongst my friends and family, both for and against, because they say it means I support the organization's values. Is it okay to see it as just a job, or should I stick to my personal values when choosing an internship? Brandon. What do you feel about this?
Yeah. Well, if they're truly personal, if they're truly like your personal values, I think they would make sense that they would carry over to like your work life. You know what I mean? Like that you would like say it this way. Like if there are plenty of companies that I would never ever work for, such as like Hobby Lobby or Chick-fil-A,
Right.
you know. But like in terms of climate, like if this place uses coal-fired ovens to serve up baby condor eggs and bald eagle heads, yeah, these guys are bad. Do not take that internship
Right.
because they're not, you know, that
I mean, it's fair to say that in capitalism, no one's hands are fully clean, right? Like
Right.
something bad is happening through some aspect of that, but despite intention, even, you know what I mean? It's just how business works.
Well,
you know?
it kind of comes down to like, but it does. I think people get off the hook too quickly with like, it's just a job, man. Like,
Wow.
I'm just doing my job. Well, you have a shitty job. Like, if your job is to like arrest homeless people, you have a bad job. That's not okay. Like, that's not, I'm just doing my job. No, you suck. Like, sorry.
Well, that's kind of what the Nazis said back in the day, right? When the Nuremberg trials, they're like, I was doing what I was told.
Right.
It's
Right. And those at least were like orders. where,
extreme
like,
example.
if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, they would shoot you.
True.
This is just like, well, it's my job, so it's fine. Like it's
Right.
not even like ethically. So, I mean, if you're passionate about green energy, don't work for ExxonMobil because it's probably going to drive you nuts. You know what I mean?
There are extreme examples, like right there's the a company doesn't do good environmental stewardship because they don't really have policies in place to do so. There's a difference between that and an ExxonMobil. You know what I mean? Like I would say,
Right.
The first is like you can be a little hand wavy, but ExxonMobil you'd be like, okay, I'm literally in bed with the thing that's against the something that means to me. You know,
Right.
It's an extreme example. So
And I think most importantly, it's really a personal question for you in that, because it sounds like there's two things here. One is you're basically asking for permission to, is it okay for me to take this job? And it's like, I don't
Sure.
know. Are you going to be okay with it?
you're
Like,
the one that's
are
got to
you-
be okay with it, right?
Like clearly you're not 100% okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly people in your house, that's the other thing, are this, I'm interested in the wide set of opinions because it sounds like you should take that job at ExxonMobil and get some career advice. You can never go work for ExxonMobil. I don't know why I'm doing those voices, but you know, I can.
Pretty sexist
just-
actually, because the male was the one
No, those
and
were
the
spot
female
on.
was the
Those
one.
Those were spot on
Yes.
impersonations of specific people.
No, I understand
Okay.
that. But the female
Yes.
person, anyway.
That was my wife. That was her exact voice. I got it 100% down.
Yeah,
But-
I've yet to find the wife, my wife included, that like it when you do their voice, because it never goes over well.
Oh. No, I would never do it when she's in the room.
I have, and
No,
it's bad.
I
Yeah,
got-
yeah.
yeah. Is that how you do my voice? Well,
Right,
well,
exactly.
my wife's voice for me is uh big dumb idiot. So it's just like, okay, I'm gonna come in the
Oh,
door
I
and just
see.
do this.
I see.
That's
I see.
basically. So sometimes it'll be preempted before I get a chance to say anything. It's like you can walk in the door,
Yes.
uh, you know, with groceries, and it's like, that's okay. I'll just leave the door open and put the groceries down and let the house get cold.
Right.
It's
Right.
like I haven't even done anything yet,
I haven't even come in.
and I most certainly did not say that.
Oh my god.
Because I have an internal monologue, but I keep it internal.
That's why it's an internal monologue.
That's right, it's actually internal.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
But anyway, yeah. So I don't know if it's not an egregious thing. Again, every company does bad to some extent, but I can almost guarantee you that there will be benefit, and you will probably see positive aspects of this experience if you do it. You know what I mean? Which means like, oh,
right.
these people are actually kind of want to do the right thing. It's just, maybe it's not
Sure.
implemented the right way or something. And you'd be like, oh, maybe this is as bad as I thought it would be.
Right.
You'll have that moment. I can almost guarantee.
Well, that's like the medical industry where there's so much like fraud and like
Right.
junk science and stuff, and then
Mhm.
people who just want to help people,
Right.
and it's all meshed into, and all of it together is 1/5 of our economy.
Right.
So that includes all the people who are filing insurance claims and all the people who are denying those insurance claims.
Right.
And then, all of the people to do the approval for the MRI, and then the people to deny the approval for the MRI, and the person to run the MRI, and then the person to send the billing back.
Right.
And it's like, that's just their job. Should it exist? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
If we lived in a just and fair world
Right.
that was in all
Oh, we don't.
egalitarian, but
Oh,
we don't. We live in a dystopian
In
hellscape.
capitalistic
Yeah.
escape.
And we'll see if we're
And
you
the
know
aspect I'm thinking
dragged
too.
off the internet next week.
There you go. That's right. But the aspect I'm thinking too is like, if you're looking for an internship, trying to get some job experience, beggars can't always be choosers. You know what I mean? So it might be tough to land a gig. It's the only one you get. Maybe you do it. You get one other. Maybe
Yeah.
take the other one. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. And well, it's also an internship. It could allow you to get some inside information about how these companies operate,
Right.
and that you're only there for a short amount of time anyway. And if you want, think of it as, oh, I'm doing recon, and that way you could even say that, like, look, this is a temporary thing. It pays good money. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna check them out, see what you do. It's not like I'm gonna be killing any baby whales on my first day, and then
clubbing
so you can-
seals.
you could tell that to your friends who are you could be like, look, I'm gonna do some recon, I'm gonna find some stuff
Mhm.
out, and I will report back to my local Greenpeace office all of the information that I obtained.
I think you signed a
will
contract that says you're not going to do that, but that's an employment contract.
Yeah, contracts from contract,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's the legal documents. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So yeah, that's my. I think you're good that
I think
way.
we covered it.
Yeah.
Go with your heart. So-
But
Yep. All right. Good
All
luck.
right. Good luck.
We're not gonna judge you though based on the internship. Just so we're clear
No.
on that. All right, here we
Unless it is the one that where they cook condor eggs and bald eagle heads. That one, that's like,
A little
man,
excessive. It's a little
on.
excessive.
Like,
I know.
really?
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Last question comes from Melinda from Dayton, Ohio. Melinda says, I just went on a solo evening grocery run. When I was loading my bags into the car, I saw my stick of deodorant at the bottom of the cart, not bagged. In the moment, I just wanted to get out of the dark parking lot. Promise I checked the receipt when I got home. Sure enough, it was never rung up. Do I go back to the store? Wondering what you would do. As a jaded adult who spends a huge chunk of my income at the store, I'm inclined to let it slide. But is it hypocritical given that I teach my kids that this behavior is wrong? Asked Melinda.
yeah.
Melinda, just for you writing, you're already like in the top 10% of people who give a shit.
Right.
So, just
I
saying.
I think, like, my professional opinion, as a professional who has opinions,
Of course.
is while it is technically hypocritical,
Hmm.
because you are doing something where you're saying not to do, your cynicism and jaded outlook are really fucking nailing it with how things are out there,
Yes.
and that store can go fuck itself. And so you keep that deodorant, okay? And that one's on the store because all of us are getting fleeced daily.
Daily.
So if
Price
I walk into a
gouged.
big box
We're
store
being price
and,
gouged.
like, so,
Yeah.
I do not worry. Do not. The fact that you even thought of returning to the store and checking the receipt and
Like I
doing
said,
that,
put you in the top 10%
you're-
already.
you're
already-
already from a 1950s I don't even know what that is, like of
Yeah.
But
Put $5 in the donation box. You know what I mean? It's like if you really need to pay the
Right.
karma forward, take the opportunity to pay donation.
Exactly.
If you really want to make it a point, though, that's a valid one. If you have kids, right, and if you want to do an example, if you want to make it a thing, go back to the store saying, "This was not paid for. I wish to pay for it now." You know what I mean? Just to demonstrate to your kid. I think that's legit. If that's something you want to make as a teachable moment.
if you want to do that, sure. I just would never do that. I would never use that as it is an opportunity for a teachable moment,
Yeah.
an opportunity I would never fucking take in a million years. I would keep the deodorant, and my kids would say, "Where did you get that deodorant?" I'd be like, "I bought it with my money legally, and I am not being hypocritical. I did not steal it.
There you
Stop
go.
looking at me that way."
There you go. Stop.
And that is,
I said stop looking at me.
you know what? Because you're a parent, they're a child, and fuck that. You know, it's yeah. I think we're all here, jaded
Yeah,
adults.
no, I would pay the fortune
You're
forward.
a mom going to on an evening grocery store run.
Yeah.
I'm sure dumping millions of dollars into this Dutch company's coffers. Since it's a grocery store, it's
Yeah.
probably owned by the Dutch.
They're doing okay. The grocery store's doing okay.
yeah.
I mean, you don't have to worry about
Grocery
that
stores
going
are
under
doing
because your
A-okay.
deodorant stick. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if you look
All
at
of
the
the,
amount of there's a term in retail called shrinkage, which I'm sure you're familiar with if you've worked in retail. Is the
Shrinkflation.
which is
Went
the
to.
amount of like product that disappears from a store either due to damage or miscount or theft. Right? It's an unbelievable number, much more than you think. To the point where you would think, how do these stores stay in business? And it's because the profits are so padded in how they procure and sell these products to you. It literally means nothing to them to stick a deodorant. So it was an honest mistake.
You're good.
You're good.
Sleep well.
Especially if you did cashier checkout. So if the cashier bagged the items, missed it, I mean,
Right, because she says she was pretty sure it didn't get rung up.
rung up,
Like
right?
if the woman took.
Which means
Yeah,
that
so
it's
it's like-
just cashier check versus
like,
self check.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying, right?
Right.
Like self check, okay, you made a mistake, right? But it was like cashier check,
Well,
like
again,
the
I
store
mean,
made the mistake.
All of these are looking for various levels of it's okay if you do. I'm telling you, you're fine. You're fine. I don't care. You walk into the store, take another stick of deodorant.
No.
Walk out,
We do
walk
not
up to the
have a
cameras and be like, "I need 2. I sweat a lot. Have you seen the fucking news?" And then you walk out.
We do not
And
advocate theft here at
what would
OK
happen-
Seriously.
Vanguard does not advocate theft. I would say you are seizing them. Okay, seize the means of production. Okay,
Yes.
this is the first thing.
Yes.
We gotta.
Use the
Yeah,
means of
yeah.
production. That's communism. That's what you're doing there.
I don't. Sometimes I get a little crazy.
It's like a little Marxist.
Definitely take that other deodorant.
Yes. No,
Next
don't
time,
worry
just-
about it. Again, Melinda, the fact that you cared
when
about
bring
it.
up like 10 Lunchables, only pay for 8. Just,
Don't do that. The fact that that it bugged you enough to write about it and that you're concerned how it views in your kids already puts you head and shoulders above most others. You know what I mean? So kudos to you for having that moral center. And like I said, if you want to make it a teachable moment, bring your kids back and let them see you return and pay for that deodorant. Or
Don't do that.
again, don't worry about it and put $5 in the donation box next one you walk by. You know what I mean? And pay the karma forward. So
because if you take your kid into that grocery store and you do that, and that kid has that life lesson, once that kid becomes an adult, that's going to become a story about how your parents were a jackass.
what?
That would be.
Yes. I would
Like,
think worst case, I would
remember
think it
when
was
my-
odd. I
my
wouldn't think they were a
mom walked me
jackass.
Back into the store
Yeah.
to.
I would just think it would be odd. I wouldn't think they were horrible people because of it. I would think, yeah, that was weird. Why didn't they just keep the fucking deodorant? It would be probably the worst case impression I'd have of that.
Right?
incident.
No. I'm saying if that was the child later,
That's what I'm
would
saying.
be like,
If I was that
what
child.
the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I would just think it
you
was
are-
weird. I wouldn't think it was like they were bad for doing it. I would think they were just odd. You know what I mean? That would be the worst reaction I would have as that child. Later
I
in
am
life.
very cynical, and jaded. I
That
am a
is true.
damaged person.
That
And
is
due
true.
to that, the framework through which I perceive raising children
Yes,
is different, I think, than that of other humans
that's
in
fair.
the country. Um, so
That's fair.
I will, I, it makes sense to me, but
Well, there you go. So you've
always,
heard your
you know,
opinions, Melinda. Hopefully
you've been around the normies more than I have.
I'm sure that's right. I'm sure you'll make the right call. And again, you've done nothing wrong. It's an honest mistake that was done, and just you feeling this way about it shows that you are a person of high character. So we applaud you.
Yeah,
We here applaud you.
you're a good person.
So, oh, you know what? I can
Take another
actually,
stick for yourself.
I think I can literally
Pat yourself.
applaud you. You're applauded. There it is.
Pat yourself on the back. Grab yourself another stick of deodorant.
Well done.
Don't do it. That's right. See, he agrees.
No, I
officially
do not
agree.
agree. No, I
He
do not
agrees.
agree.
He disagreed. Nope, and he doesn't lie.
Oh my
And he just said it.
god.
So
Time for speed
gotcha.
round. It's time for.
Oh,
You're up for
okay.
speed round
Yeah, okay, fine.
because
Change the. Oh, okay. Now it's speed.
you're
Okay,
doing
fine.
speed round. Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Is it me?
Yeah, it is
All right.
actually. I remember I was. What did I have to deal with last week? I'm looking through my list here. It's like swapping
Oh, what, I
bodies,
asked you
swapping
last week?
bodies, Donkey Kong. Yeah, I'm looking at what Superman and Goku fight. I mean, we had some good ones last week actually. So I'm sure
Tried
yours
to
will be
mix it
great
up.
as well. I'm sure yours will be great as well. So I'm gonna pull our timer up, and we're gonna have Green Pant's gonna have 60 seconds to answer these 5 questions, and we'll analyze a little bit after. Let me make sure I get the timer information up there. There it is. And a la Family Feud style, I will start the timer after I finish reading the first question. Green Pants, are you ready?
I am ready.
Would you rather be forced to wear shoes every second of your life or never be able to wear shoes again?
Oh, assuming no biological restrictions, I would have footwear melded to my feet and actually have like modulars that I could switch out. So
Okay.
yes, permanent shoes.
Friendships. What would the 10-year-old you think if they saw you now?
Oh my God, they would be shocked and appalled and do not understand why I'm not blindly following the party of Reagan and supply side economics.
What is that everybody seems to be doing that makes them look stupid?
Going bra and calling everything bra at the
That's
end.
fair. That's,
I
I think that's the
also
correct answer.
TikTok.
Also TikTok, right? We know about red flags, but what do you consider to be a green flag when you meet someone new?
Fish hat.
Excellent.
You're
Excellent
wearing a fish hat, you're fine. Like
Yeah.
there's nobody that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. You just became a member of the Spice Girls. What Spice name do you make up for yourself?
Oh, Stone Spice.
Yeah, no, that's the correct answer.
It's the only one I think
Okay,
it would
so
be.
5 seconds left.
It could
Well
be
done.
pale
Well done on that.
So, or I could be male
Timer.
Spice because I would be the only male member of the.
That's
of the Spice Girls.
true. Lucky Spice. Lucky Spice.
Yeah, my feeling on footwear, like
Yeah, go ahead.
whereas there are some people who love to be barefoot,
Yeah.
I am exactly not that. So I always have my feet
Ooh.
covered. Generally for protection against my toes or whatnot. I walk a lot
Yeah.
and like.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Need my
so,
feet wrapped. Also, I think men feet are disgusting. They shouldn't be seen in the light of day.
No,
Men's feet should be wrapped. Gentlemen, if you're out there watching, cover your damn feet. No one wants to see that.
Right.
No one
I
wants to see that.
am
Your feet are
in
nasty.
no way would I because Mrs. Green Pants was a fan of walking around, barefoot and all that stuff, and to
It's
me
fine.
that's just a recipe for tetanus.
I mean, potential.
It's just all you're getting is stub-toesed, glass in your feet, and hey, once you see Die Hard and you see what Bruce Willis goes through
John McCain.
after he doesn't have his shoes, getting over that glass,
Oh,
that looked terrible.
terrible.
If he had permanent shoes, John McClane he would have been able to take over that tower a lot easier, or
think
at
so,
least
too.
be able to,
From Hans Gruber.
defeat Hans Gruber. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
A 10-year-old me, that
Yeah.
would be very weird because I would be like in the complete middle of the basically of the indoctrination and propaganda. So that would be
right.
like right when Reagan was president, where
I remember those days.
we were at Air Force bases listening to stage or things of him
Yeah.
and talking about what a terrible person Jimmy Carter was and
Right.
how he should die.
Right. When nothing could be
And-
further from the truth. Jimmy Carter's an
and he
amazing
was
human.
literally the worst. I mean, Jimmy Carter, for me growing up, he was described to me as literally the worst. I mean, it was
Yeah.
like the dumbest president that's ever lived.
Mhm.
Complete, like, just I had this jaded idea of what Jimmy Carter was, and
Same.
also that Nixon wasn't a big deal. It was a bunch of
Right.
big deal over nothing.
Right.
Because it was like, but didn't someone get impeached? It was a bunch
It
of
was
fucking nonsense.
It was a big deal.
And it was like,
Nixon
oh,
did
okay.
a very bad thing.
And then
Many very, very
later,
bad
as I
things.
got older, I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't believe in any of this.
I know.
So 10-year-old me would be very confused.
About political ideology. No, that's a fair thing. I
Yes,
think that's me
exactly.
too. I think that's me too.
Because he'd be like, why is this Rush Limbaugh guy on for 3 hours a day
Yeah.
in our kitchen?
And you-
Like, from like,
well, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I heard the first show.
Yeah.
Because there was a show before that, before he got that spot
Right.
on the noon 770 dial. That
Right.
that was piped into my home as a
Yeah.
child.
I get it.
The word feminazi
Yeah.
was I knew what that was before I heard the word feminism.
Amazing you
Like
came
that
out
is
the way you
that
did.
is true. Well, that's just because I'm yeah because I came out.
Because
being
you're
like, "Fuck all you
a
guys."
critically thinking, rational human being.
No, I was just I don't like being lied to, and I was just
Right.
pissed off. This is all like so
I get it.
um
the stupid thing. Yeah, yeah. You said it was the bruh. It does make me nuts. Yo, bruh. What's a bruh? I'm like, what?
it's my own.
Fucking
I mean, I
idiots.
read an article the other day saying, "What does my child call me, brah?"
Right.
And it's like you can, and what the article had said was they can't help it.
Help it.
If they say bro, bro
Mhm.
is a term of endearment.
Right.
It's the hard O means if you say bro, you have to like that person. Like you wouldn't say bro to someone that you aren't friendly with.
Right.
Bruh is a reaction to being like you did something. So like if you like
You've
so, like,
wronged
so
me.
if you took your if you took your kid's plate before he wasn't done, he might be like bruh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that's like the instinctual reaction.
Right.
And like both my kids do that.
Oh, jeez.
It's like when something happens, it's like bruh, like kind of like what. So that is something I see everybody
youth.
doing. In the past, I would have said like Pokemon Go. Probably a lot of my friends don't like that. Pokemon Go. When I saw people hopping out of their cars trying to do that, I was like, that's not good. That's dangerous and really slowing my commute.
I
you know.
was fine with it. I didn't play it for the record, but I was fine with it because it was finally a video game where people had to be like in the real world doing stuff, walking around.
Yeah, yeah,
that was
I-
a
it-
benefit.
yeah, exactly. That's why I do geo-tracking,
Yeah.
geocaching.
Right.
with my kids, where it's like, oh,
Great
you
activity.
find something, but you have to walk to get there. As opposed to I guess also Roblox, because that is something
Yeah.
that nearly
Very- very
every
popular,
child I've come in
Roblox.
contact with plays it in some capacity, even with wildly. It's like it is definitely. They've come up with the crack recipe for
Yeah.
like being able to just suck the most amount of time out of a kid, and it
Sure.
was create a gaming platform that you can kind of make your own shit in,
Right.
and then you combine that with YouTube, and you have my children's entire media experience. So I find it delightful when companies make commercials because I don't know who sees them. like- Because
How was advertising even still a thing?
right, well, like my kids, it wasn't until like 3rd or 4th grade they even knew what Disney was,
Oh, yeah.
or that Disney World was a place.
Right.
Because they never saw a commercial for it. It was like they watched Disney. They knew who Mickey Mouse was, but it's like Disney World is a place.
Oh, weird.
No idea.
Okay, whatever, right? It's
Yeah.
like-
Did not, but it would have never come up. And so it really helps me in this cereal aisle because no one's ever asking for different shit.
Right, exactly.
Also, my kids are super, super picky and would only eat one
Particular-
cereal in their box, and probably
Makes
not even
sense.
in a larger box.
Makes sense. The Stoner Spice. So I'm trying to think who
Right.
I would be. I think I'm Nerdy Spice. A geeky spice.
It would be Honest
Spice.
Spice.
Honest spice.
It'd be only dude Spice, male
Only
Spice,
dude
like that. Because really,
Spice.
yeah,
Yes.
it's the only in Spice Girls. So that question I think would have been more for a lady.
Perhaps.
But
I think Sour Spice. That's a good name. I think it flows with the rest of the spice
Yeah.
people. Can't
um,
call them girls
what do
now.
you
It's
consider-
spice people.
I like that question about
Oh, the
what's
green
a
flag.
green flag. I've not
Yeah.
heard that before.
Yeah.
Like, and there are a lot. Because I didn't think about that. First thing that came to my mind was a fish hat, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously, but like, you know, literally anyone in the
In that
medical
culture.
marijuana facility,
Right. Is chill. And is reasonable
Yeah.
person. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Almost by
if you are
definition.
if you are in a sanctuary location,
Yes.
which is company, like
Yes.
everyone there's gonna be fine.
Yeah. The thing. Exactly. The thing that occurred to me when I read that was a dude who owns a cat, because like dudes
It
who
means you can take care of a living thing.
yeah, but and you can bond with a thing that's not like a subservient like and you know my views on dogs versus cats. I do love dogs and I do love cats, but I think like I've met many dog owners who could be complete assholes, right? And they're meeting their dog too, but that's nothing. But a dude that actually has the patience to have a cat, you know what I mean? To me is like I've never met a horrible cat owner in
Really?
males, right?
So
Um,
the crazy cat lady, you
Yeah,
know,
that could be a
I
thing
think
still.
That
might
Kamala
be a
Harris
thing.
is a crazy cat lady,
I
isn't
think she
she?
is,
No,
yeah,
isn't
she
that,
is.
I,
Yes,
that was
crazy
that
cat
was
lady.
defined
Childless
for
cat
me.
lady. No,
Taylor
childless
Swift
cat
told me.
lady.
No, that's
Childless
Taylor
cat
Swift.
ladies. Yeah.
That's Taylor Swift.
Yeah, childless cat
She's
lady.
very clear about that.
Yeah.
Um,
We're ruining America because we're not.
I-
Our women are
I
not
had-
breeding factories. That's why we're ruining. Clearly.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
that's
Women,
one
that's
of
your
our
only
biggest-
function in life. I'm sorry. If you vote
Yeah.
Trump this November, and if you're a female, you believe your role is to be a breeding factory. So, if that's your lot in
You're
life,
cool,
so be
you're
it.
cool with forced birth,
You're cool with that.
and you're cool with everyone else having to be cool with it too.
The purpose of your existence is to breed.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what
Yeah,
you
for like, I think
Ugh.
different green flags are like pride,
Sure, yeah, if you're in a
generally-
pride, absolutely.
but like
100%.
at the pride parade,
Yeah.
like it is a place where it's like I am not worried about my kids at all. Like
Nope.
I am in a city
Yep.
whereas in other times where I'd be in a city doing whatever, but in
But
that
that's
group
not-
of people,
That's not what I hear on the news. That's where all the indoctrination and the pedophilia
Right.
is happening. You can't be
Right.
right what you're saying.
like those things don't go together and don't
really
make
don't.
sense. And the fact that someone jumps there, that's a them problem.
Yeah.
Because it's like when these some of the stuff that they come out with, it's like, wow, you're into some kinky shit, because it's like so much projection of
Right.
like, well, you're probably in a pizza parlor underneath in a
And it's
you know,
like,
having sex
whoa.
with kids, and whoa, what the hell have you been watching?
Watching My Little Pony videos, it's like, whoa, you're a brony?
know, yeah, just, throw me on the doll where they hurt you.
Oh
Like,
my
good
goodness,
Lord.
seriously.
So yeah, that would be pride is a good example of someone where it's like
Totally.
a wide variety of
Yeah.
people, but it's
Pride meeting.
but
Boom, I'll leave my kids
and
there.
it's like because it's not like it's only people who are part of the LGBT community. It's anybody that's
Right.
there, and if you're there and not part of the LGBT community and you support the LGBT community, you're probably not a massive dick.
Right.
Is
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like,
Because you're
I mean,
tolerant.
There's exceptions.
Because you're
There's
tolerant.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
Go
I'm sure there
figure.
are people that I would meet that I would hate, but like in
Right.
terms of
Right.
a green flag, as like, yeah, okay, they're probably okay.
And for the
Like,
most part,
for
that's true.
example, if you were to go on a date with someone and they said, oh, what do they do? It's like, oh, I met him at the Pride Parade last year. But like,
Great.
okay.
I'm
that
sure
would
they're a
be a
reasonable
green
person then.
You know what I mean? Or something like that, it
Right.
seems. And then you're like, really? And like, yes, they were being arrested for holding up a sign that says "God hates facts."
And now we flip it
so
around.
then we flip it around and we
We
go,
just
oh my
reversed
God.
this. Dear God.
Yeah,
And they're part of the Westboro Baptist Church. And it's like, what?
yes, both.
It's like,
those same 12 fucking people that just
oh my
like
God.
causing problems.
Election to be
Did you
over.
have? What was your 10-year-old self think of you?
Very similar to yours. I think the political views. I was all about Reagan when I was young. All about.
Really?
Yeah, totally. I'm like, oh, he makes the country strong, and we got the hostages back. I was a little older than you,
Yes!
but like the Iran hostages
Yeah.
was like, we sang songs in school praying for these hostages, which we shouldn't have been doing in school, but public school. But anyway, but and when Dave Reagan got elected, boom, they're freed. I believe it's backroom deals, right? Partially.
Oh no, yeah, it was the whole thing.
It's
Where
the whole
that
thing.
was part of my thing was that Jimmy Carter he left those people in stranded in
10-year-old me
Reagan, and
doesn't know that, right? 10-year-old me is an
Wait.
idiot, so.
he said those fucking air traffic controllers wouldn't they were acting up and getting all high and mighty, and he just fired all of them. That was like the greatest story, like my
Yeah.
dad liked to tell.
I'm like,
Where
oh,
it's
he didn't fuck around. That's fantastic. Well,
he's
the
like-
planes
he's
need
like,
to
"You-
work,
'cause it-
so
yeah, man,
I'm glad he
and
did that.
Unions
Right.
are awful,
Yeah.
so he should fire all those people. Did
And
he
he
do
did.
that? Yeah, he did. How
Great.
dare they do that?
10-year-old
was
me
like-
thought that was awesome.
Yeah. It was
And the whole
like,
thing with
oh, okay.
Libya, he's like, Libya's causing problems. Like, we're gonna go fuck them up, bomb the hell out of Libya. And I was like, awesome. 10-year-old
Yep.
me. I'm like, that's the right thing
Yep.
to do.
I remember like the stealth bomber and be like, yeah, we're probably just like going above their heads. They don't even see what's coming, and we
Drop
just,
it down,
you know,
boom.
right.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
oh my god.
yeah.
Like, isn't that kind
That
of
was long.
sad? And it means all those super right-wing supporters were equating to 10-year-olds.
Yeah, but I don't mean to give them that much credit. But that's being very that's being very rude to 10-year-olds. in
That's
general.
fair.
I have a lot
That's
more
fair.
respect.
I
for
was a
10-year-olds than
pretty intelligent 10-year-old too, actually. So it's
that. But just in a general sense, it's like the people that are raising more of those. It's like
yeah.
is most of the time, if you can't escape that echo chamber,
Oh yeah.
and which is why the right wing hates colleges so much,
Right.
because
'Cause
people
you
go to college
Get
and actually learn
educated.
things.
Right.
Or you meet people who have a different lived experience that are like, what?
The thing you're
like,
into like invalidates me as a person. Really? Explain
Right.
that. Oh, really? Oh my god. Right? It's
Oh, and you meet them and you have relationships
Yeah.
with them and become empathetic to them and start going,
Go figure.
why am I supposed to hate you
There's your
again?
indoctrination.
Oh, because this is all crazy.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Oh, bullshit.
And-
Yeah.
If it would be great if
Ugh.
everybody just got to that level, or, and this is a hot take,
Hot
if we
take.
could just stop doing that entirely, we could just stop that whole
Well, now you're just being ridiculous.
if we could just knock that shit off and just like
There
tell
you go.
kids about like science and real things,
Right.
starting right at square one, and we're just honest with them about how the world works at developmentally appropriate stages,
Nice.
and not create a magical system of reward and punishment, of which punishment is literally the worst thing they can possibly think of, so that's what they just say it is.
Right. And then you live a fear-based existence because you're afraid of this punishment. You base
That
all your
is
decisions based
called
on it. It's called
child
religion.
abuse.
It's called religion.
It's called child abuse. It's called when your child is traumatized thinking that they're going to burn in hell because they swallowed their gum,
Right.
is what I'm saying. Like, 'cause you're not allowed to swallow your gum.
Right. Oh my god.
That is not a story from my own childhood. That
Um,
is a story from my childhood.
I did think something like a positive take on this one is that I think if 10-year-old me saw me now, they would be relieved, like slash impressed, because I'm in much better shape I'm now than I was when I was 10, like psychologically speaking, you know what I mean? Just like all that, just well adjusted and all that stuff. So give my 10-year-old self hope. That'd be a nice thing.
And my 10-year-old self, yeah, they would be like, you made it, like you survive. Like,
Right.
'cause At that point, it was like that would have been like, yeah, 5th, 6th grade. I've been like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of here.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
so if I'm asking myself this question 40 years later, okay, well, I must have had at least a decent run.
Right. And it's like, oh yeah, you're not gonna get bullied anymore, and people aren't gonna mess
You
with
don't
you.
look like you're in prison right now, so
Right.
sounds good. I don't know
Right.
why you have those things on your head.
What's that?
Um,
Nice. Cool.
oh yeah, man, I covered it.
I think that's it, man. That's it. I think we did it.
So,
We settled.
this
We
is-
settled Star Wars. At least, well, actually, we barely picked the
we settled it, but we
Didn't
gave
sell it.
a lot.
Star Wars is ongoing.
I think also with Star Wars, there are different answers for different people depending on who you are.
I know.
As I said, if you're a person that
No.
really wants to get into all
Super
of this
J, I
stuff,
still love you.
you know,
I know.
hey, that's what I said. That was the best. I mean, because I saw, starting from Empire, all the movies in the theater, and the experience that I was the most like emotional about was Force Awakens,
Yeah, I get it.
and then it was dead to me after that.
Right. It like wrenched your heart. Oh, super
And then
gave
Han
me
Solo got
kisses.
shot, and I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Okay, you mean okay?" And then I should have just stopped at that movie and then just not watched the Acolyte.
Oh, Lucy Tennant, you're catching us right at the tail end here. So one of our viewers, Lucy Tennant 69, has a question. All right, Lucy, if you can hit me quick, we'll see what we can do for you. But throw it at us though. We're gonna keep summarizing while you're typing your question up. So yeah, so don't let your girlfriend tase you was another thing we figured out, right? And then get her
Right.
psychological help.
Or if your girlfriend comes at you with a taser and this is outside of her normal pattern of behavior,
Yes,
perhaps she is having a mental health episode
Right.
and she requires assistance.
correct,
Um,
correct.
if your friend who helped you get over your ex ends up going and dating him and fucking him, she was never your friend.
Correct. That's clear.
So that's that one I think.
Oh my goodness.
I think with Star Wars we've got
Star Wars
got
we covered
that
pretty well.
covered.
Yeah.
I
Internship at the morally questionable place depends on morally unquestionable, I think is what we figured out, right?
Right. Yes. Is it bald eagle heads?
Right. Because
Or is
again,
it-
there's
is it
no
just, you know,
right.
is it clean coal or, you know,
Yeah.
are we selling baby whale soup?
Yeah.
You know,
The
that a thing?
is
That'd be a
thing. Yeah, but
Probably a thing in
remember all companies do evil. All
yeah, no, that's true.
capitalistic companies do evil in some degree. It could be very small. They could have the best intentions, but something bad happens just from them existing. Just so you're clear on that. Something against human condition happens. And then the deodorant. Yeah,
Like-
just keep the deodorant. You're fine. I
Yeah.
mean,
You're fine.
my suggestion was
So-
don't donate to a poor box or some other donation. Hey,
My
it's
suggestion
homophobic,
was
but-
go back into the store, take
and get
another deodorant. give them
deodorant.
the
I do not
finger,
advocate
and
for
then-
that.
That is what
I
I
love
advocate for.
Okay, Lucy Tennant came back with a question. Let's see. What do you think about this, Green Pants? What should I do when I'm upset at my girl and she is mad at me as well? I feel guilt over something I didn't do, and I feel empty and just listen to music. What should I do? Your girl, I'm going to assume, is your friend. So what you need to communicate. You need to communicate with her. That's a common theme here on the show. Communication is the king. So you need to have
So many problems
Can be
that
solved.
that are written about
Yeah.
are just like, has the one person talked to the other person?
yeah,
So-
exactly.
Normally what happens in these situations is there's a lack of communication
Yes.
and then a bunch of assumptions that are made on either side. Like,
Yes.
I'm being ghosted. I'm
Right.
being they're
Oh,
doing
she
this
hates
because
me.
of
She
X.
thinks I'm a bitch.
She hates me.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she have done this? Well,
All
the only
presumption.
reasons could be, and you just create an entire story in your head of what
Yeah.
probably happened.
Right.
And then by
Which
the
is
time
not
you
the
get to that
reality.
conversation, you're like, what? You know, so
Exactly. Most
would
people
be-
have good intentions. Just this is the golden rule, right? Most people are genuinely well intended. That may come across horribly wrong, but they're generally well intended, right? So
I think I would say in everyday interactions
Yeah.
and stuff. No, because there's some people that are just that are like not well intentioned. mean,
I
think
if they're not
even
if they're not psychologically ill. Let me qualify it.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, okay, well, yeah. I guess if we're saying most, and we're
Right.
saying
Most. Definitely
usually,
most. Yeah, no,
Most, yes.
clear majority. Yeah. Sure. So yeah, so you
Is-
need to communicate. And here's the thing I was saying, Lucy Tennant, we were talking about this before as well. It's like having difficult conversations is very hard for people to do, but it's a critical life skill that will save you grief later in life. So
Absolutely.
like being able to have that, hey, I get the sense that you're upsetting me. Can we only talk about it? That's a hard thing for people to say sometimes. You know, like, what's your beef with me? Can you just be honest? I just want to hear it, and I want to make sure there's no cross signals or something, and just
Yeah,
have
I
it
didn't
out.
feel comfortable doing that until I was 43. But
Correct.
you get there.
Correct.
You get
It
there.
takes a while for people sometimes. Yeah, because people don't like talking about their deep feelings. They're afraid that they're revealing themselves and making themselves vulnerable is going to cause them pain, right? But no, it's the reverse. I'm telling you.
Right.
Gotta get
Well,
out there.
and vulnerability goes back to one of our base fears, which is just of not existing or
Exposed belly.
aloneness, something
Yes.
happening. Yeah, so that's all of that pulls from that same
Mhm.
psychological part of your brain that starts catastrophizing and
Yes.
saying, okay, I didn't get the text, or sometimes when the dots are there and someone's trying to read a message into the dot
Right.
dot that comes up on the phone.
Oh,
like
they
if you-
start typing. Oh, they stopped. That means they're
Yeah,
questioning
yeah.
what they wrote, and they really hate me.
Right.
And then they're
Exactly. Or it means they left on their dialogue box
Correct.
and they went on to do something else, and their phone is sitting on a table and they're
Right.
not doing anything.
Or
And it's just blinking.
they butt pushed it or something, and it looks like it never
Yeah.
started to type something. It's like literally those things happen. It's not a big deal. So please
as you were
communicate.
crying in the fetal position, the phone is
Yes.
charging in the station,
Yes.
and the other person is blissfully unaware that you are literally losing your mind.
That's right. That's right.
So,
But yeah, so Lucy Tennant,
that
if
conversation.
if you need, hopefully that helped a little bit. If you have more if you have more details about your situation, we would love to hear them. So again, below Green Pants, there's a question link button. So hit that button and submit your question, whatever details you want to add, and we will get to it on our next episode. So I guess we appreciate you being here. But for now,
Yeah,
it's time to
absolutely.
sign off. Yeah, we've been doing this for a little bit now, so it's time to go. But I think
we
we've
will not
done
be
some
here
good here.
next week.
Election day.
It's
We will
election day.
not be here next week.
Depending on how it goes, you might not be here at all ever again. But I guess that'll see.
I was told this could be the last election we ever had, so that's something.
and I perhaps will be detained. And so if I am, feel free to find a guest.
If you're getting detained, I'm probably getting detained, so I'll be there with you. So I'm sure we'll.
You can't get detained because I need you to bail me out.
That's fair.
God. Okay. Roles and responsibilities.
No, you're right. You're right. My bad. I forgot my place.
Every agitator needs the person that has the lawyer connected. Come on, you got to
Yes.
use the phone call.
Yes.
Got to have plans. Supreme Court will say it's all fine.
Oh my goodness. But yes. Anyway, so 2 weeks we'll see you guys. We're not gonna be here next week for election day. Good luck. Please vote. Please vote.
Vote for Kamala
Can't even
Harris.
tell. He was gonna go
Please
there.
vote for.
You just vote.
None of this bullshit. Like, it's so stupid. It's like, we just want you to vote. Vote your conscience. No!
No, don't vote.
Vote for Kamala Harris, you fucking idiot.
Oh
What?
my god.
There's no, it's like, here's a person that just has the country running normally and all that. I mean, this other person is like,
Wants
I
to
have
burn
an
the whole
interview
thing
system
down. Right.
and I want to deport millions of people on my
Right.
first day.
Right. And I'm
Like-
a felon and I raped someone.
Right.
So-
Like, I mean, we talked a little bit about red flags.
It's amazing we're
Um,
having that conversation, but here we are.
A couple of red flags I would say for a president might
Yeah.
be
For sure.
all of this person's personality. So please go out, do your civic duty, and vote for Kamala Harris. And just generally blue.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Lucy, thank you for the follow-up. You know, Lucy's thanking us for the advice. Means a lot to her. Big overthinker, bad anxiety. Don't like the way I think about certain subject related to myself. Absolutely, Lucy, you're normal. It's fine. I mean, just remember you're worth friendship. You know, you're worth having. Oh, thank you for the follow. We got a new follower. Thank you very much for that. So we'll catch you in 2 weeks. So come on back in 2 weeks, and we'll have a new set of questions, 5 questions, and we will get to them. Hopefully before Kurt gets tased again,
Yeah, or I'm detained.
or you're detained.
Or hopefully I will be out of detainment. We'll see. We'll see.
Ankle bracelets
Stay
still
tuned.
acceptable. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, everybody.
That's right.
Yeah,
But
like,
thank you for the
I
follow.
can't down here, so
That's right.
yeah.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you for everyone who came by and chatted today, and we'll catch you next time. So again, remember we are just here to help.
Here to help.
So have a good night, everybody. See you in 2.
Good night.
Bye.
And use
And we're
another
off.
ankle bracelet.
And we're off. That was nice. Spontaneous viewer asked a question, then followed us.
So we have one
Thousand
follower.
more to go. and then we're getting somewhere. We get 1,000 more then.
It does. It does say